Hello, everybody. I am going live on StreamYard on my phone today. I've never done this before, so I think that's pretty cool. That'll help me get more of these while I'm on the go. So I am just making a cup of coffee, big cup of coffee before I head to church this morning. I'm really digging this building that I go to and listen to somebody speak about God and teach. I enjoy it. And it's been put in my heart that I go to this place to receive because I'm constantly giving and giving and giving. And, I receive a lot too, but it's important that I have a place to go that's designated just for me to receive. I don't have any responsibility other than to show up with an open mind and an open heart. So I'm really digging that. But what I wanted to share with you in this video is that, so for those of you who don't know, I got a freeze dryer, and I have some really big plans for this freeze dryer, and I'm going to show you guys the product probably tomorrow or Tuesday. But I have created instant tea. It is Oh, it is so amazing, and it smells so good, and it tastes so good, and it's so potent. And not only can it last up to 25 years, all right, it will retain that potency for 25 years. It also is instant. You can use hot water, cold water, whatever you want, and it dissolves almost immediately and just leaves you with this cup of medicine. Okay, so with that said, the process to make this product takes me anywhere from 24 to 48 hours. And last night I was up to 30 hours and I thought it was done. Thought the batch was done. And my intuition told me, it said, wait until tomorrow morning. Don't mess with it right now. But I did not listen. I was too excited. So what did I do? I messed with it and I messed up. When you open the drain valve, if it is not taken out of the bucket, it can suck water back into the machine and moisturize all of the product that you have been drying for the last 30 hours. And that is what happened last night. So 6 trays of this product now messed up because I didn't listen to my intuition and wait longer when I knew I should have. And I have done enough work on myself to be able to recognize my emotions almost immediately and 9 times out of 10 not react, right? Was I bummed? Yeah. Like it's a whole batch that now I'm not going to be able to use in the way that I intended because I didn't listen to my intuition. But it just reminded me of, like with the ministry and the medicine, all of the mistakes that I have made to get to where I am now. And this freeze drying endeavor, it's very new. I've only been working with it for the last few weeks, and I've only been studying and learning about it for the last couple of months. And, and while I am obsessive and I can definitely absorb information very well, truly learn. Well, what was it? I heard it on a podcast the other day that lived experience is the superior, second to none in terms of education. Lived experience is the superior education, second to none. So even though I've spent all this time reading and studying and absorbing, now that I'm getting my hands in and actually doing it and making mistakes, I'm learning a lot better. And making mistakes are just part of the process, and the attitude that we choose to have towards the mistakes that we make can make or break us. Hey, good morning, Heather. I love you. I love you so much. When I tell you guys, so I was presented with a choice last night when I realized that I messed up this batch. I said, okay, I can get all upset about it and tense and anxious and get my blood pressure up because I can mess it up. Or I can just be grateful. Like, wow, how blessed am I to be able to have this type of equipment to even make mistakes with? Like, this is not a cheap piece of equipment, you guys. Here, I'm going to show you. You guys are really going to be seeing it firsthand here. I haven't. Look at this. Look at this machine. I love it so much. Like, how blessed am I to be able to have this to make mistakes with? Look at all this medicine behind me. Look, you guys are getting a little peek into the world now. Look at that. All right, we're getting out of here. It's my very special room. Um, Hello, everybody that's on here. Hello. Yes, it's all about mindset. I'm gonna share a story with you, and then I got 10 minutes before I have to head to church. This was probably 7 or so years ago, and I woke up in the morning and I was walking through my kitchen here to go to the bathroom, and immediately just splash, splash, splash. my eyes weren't even all the way open yet at this point, and my kitchen was flooded with like this much water all on the floor. A pipe had burst in the middle of the night as I was sleeping and flooded my kitchen. And also at this point, I've done enough work on myself to be able to choose how I'm going to express my emotions. And immediately I was like, wow, look at all this water that I have. Like, there are people in places that don't have any water. And here I am, I have too much water. Is it inconvenient that it's flooded my kitchen? Yup. Do I now have to spend the next 45 minutes trying to figure out how to shut the water off? Yup. But still, I would rather have too much water than not enough water. All right. And just like last night, I needed to make a mistake with the machine. It's going to happen no matter what it is that you want to do. In order to be one of the greatest at what you do, you've got to be willing to fail. You've got to be willing to make mistakes. You've got to be willing to put in. You can put in hours, days, weeks, months, years worth of work just to have it fail, just to have it flop, just to have it mess up. And if you have it within you, if you have the strength and the determination to keep going regardless, you're going to be unstoppable. There's nothing that you cannot do, especially when you have that type of strength. So I just wanted to share that with you guys. Yes, Heather, come see it. You haven't seen it since I remodeled. Come see it, Heather. You guys usually just see me sitting behind my desk. I'm going to go in the medicine room again. I really want to show this to all of you, but it still has some work. We'll do a little. Look at that. Look at all that medicine. Look at all that medicine. Oh yeah. But again, look at this baby. I'm so excited to share with you guys the instant tea that I have created. Um, and I'm still this right here. So the product's not completely ruined because of the mistake. It's just not. I have a certain standard that I hold everything that I do to, and especially the medicine. If I'm going to offer it to be exchanged for medicine, money, or anything really, it has to meet a certain standard. And this is not going to meet that standard now because of the what I did. So now this is going to be free. This is going to be samples. This is going to be given to my friends that I love to try it. And when I tell you so much of my time, love, and energy has gone into this, that not to toot my own horn, but to baby, just drinking this tea, you're going to be able to feel that it produces physiological changes in your body that you can feel. Okay. And I just really believe that there's magic in every sip. It's also a luxury item. So for those that want to actually buy the tin, it's not cheap, but it's worth it. Every single sip is worth it. And and like I said, I'm going to say it again. Anything to achieve anything of any degree of greatness, you've got to be willing to make mistakes. You've got to be willing to fail and then learn from those mistakes and then get yourself up and try it again with anything and everything. You guys know when I first became an herbalist, I don't even like the word herbalist anymore because I don't know what that means. But when I first started working with herbs as medicine, I remember this was probably 8 or 9 years ago. A woman came into the herb shop and I went to a book. She told me her symptoms. I went to a book, looked it up, and just picked an herb based off what it recommended. The book recommended, and I gave her a couple ounces of poke root. Okay. And I told her to drink 2 to 3 cups of poke root a day, you guys. Oh my God. Now, if you know me, you know that poke root is one of my most favorite medicines to work with now. However, it is so strong that I tincture it and I have people work with one single drop at a time under their tongue and then slowly increase drop by drop. So imagine, almost 10 years ago, here I am, a little baby herbalist, telling somebody to go drink 3 cups of this a day. It wasn't cool. But I also wasn't charging people for that either. And I think that's important. I did over 50 consultations for free before I ever charged for my first one. I worked for years for free before I started asking for money because for one, I was able to gain experience. Maybe I wasn't gaining money with the work that I was doing at that time, but I was able to gain something much more valuable than money, and that is experience, knowledge, more than knowledge, wisdom. And I see it way too often today. People go and they get these little certifications, or, I had a woman work with me for a year and just, and then when she thought that she had enough based off of my mind and absorbed myself, went off and did her own thing. And it started charging people big bucks to do it. And I don't want to throw any shade, but there's just too much of that. Too much of people going out here, little baby herbalists, little baby practitioners charging big bucks when they don't have the experience, when they don't have the wisdom. And that's why I want to encourage you. And that's why I choose to get so excited whenever I make mistakes, whenever I mess up. Like, yeah, sure, okay, there's 40 hours that I could view as wasted, but it's not wasted because I learned. And now I'm going to be more careful next time because I'm going to remember that feeling of just, oh no, can't believe that happened. I don't ever want to feel that way again. So, yeah, I'm grateful. Hello, Madeline. Miss you, Mama. Let's see, Heather. Something that I'm rearranging in my own life is a mindset to detach from the idea of making a mistake that equals failure. If it brings knowledge, how can it be a mistake just to redirection? Exactly, Heather. And that happens a lot. Like people make mistakes every day and then they will just stop striving. They will stop working towards whatever it was they were working on. They allow that mistake to convince them that they are a failure or that they're not supposed to be doing what they're doing. But I just want to encourage everybody that when you make mistakes, get excited. Like, yes, I just learned from this. And remember that every person that you looked up to, every person that you see that is doing what you are doing or that you admire, they made a lot of mistakes too. Nobody out here just perfected their way to their craft. You know, it took you become a master of your craft. I don't like the word master. You become one of the greatest at what you do because of the mistakes that you have made along the way. All right, there is no just easy path of perfection. So, and I'm going to keep reminding myself of this as I start this process all over. Like, this is a part of the learning process. And anybody out here portraying themselves to be perfect, they're lying. All right. Also, too, anybody out here who said they have killed their ego, they're lying. And someone said this is not live. I think they just wanted me to repeat that. But, anyways, we need our ego. And if you kill your ego, then you would be dead too. Your ego is a very vital part of who you are. It's about keeping that ego harmonized, you know, not allowing it to become imbalanced. Like it is a healthy ego tells me that I'm one of the greatest at what I do because I am. But an unhealthy ego would say, nobody is as good as I am at what I do. That's not healthy. But it is also an unhealthy ego will say, oh, look, you're a failure because of the mistake that you made. But a healthy ego will say, hey, look at that notch under our belt that we get because we learned from that. So, yeah. Let's see who's on here. Heather, thank you for commenting. I love you. What's up, Andrew? I hope to see you in about 20 or 30 minutes, my guy. So, you all, I hope you go out there today and I hope that you make some mistakes. And I hope that you learn from those mistakes and allow them to add to you, add to your experience. Some of the greatest discoveries in the world were mistakes. And I can't think of any off the top of my head right now, but I'm going to get back to you on that because I know it. So many amazing things have happened on accident. Most of us right here, right now, you watching this videos, you were an accident, but look at you. You know, are there really any such things as accidents? I don't think so. I don't think so at all. Let's see who's commented. Hey, Steve. Hey, Lindsay. Hello, everybody. Thanks for being here. Yeah, I just wanted to share with you how I made a big mistake last night and how I'm grateful for it because I learned from it. And you guys stay tuned. Tomorrow, I'm going to be showing you pictures and videos of the instant tea that I've created. And shout out to everybody who watches my stories on Facebook and Instagram because you've already seen these things. And so you know what I'm talking about. I like to release things in my story first. Hey, Lindsay. All right, everybody, go make some mistakes today. I'm going to go to church and be surrounded by people who believe in God and are here to serve the least, the last, and the lost, baby.